a snitch in the dressing room. The leak, he says they're at it. Players' agents, PR teams, marketing teams as a self-preservation for their own player. Unfortunately, when they go to the media, then those media people go to us. Don't know what that means, him and somebody else.
Yeah,
so we know who's briefing. It's downright disrespectful. I think it's disgusting. I mean, when you were at Palace, was there
Gary
a
Neville,
mole?
a.k.a. Julian Assange. Look, I mean, from that point of view, it happens in most dressing rooms. I don't know how the Barrack Room lawyer has the brass neck to suggest that other people can speak about things. Yeah, he does it all the time.
Yeah.
But there is a culture inside clubs, especially with disillusioned players that feel that something hasn't gone their way, and it's been there since time immemorial. There's just more outlets, more content requirement, and more people that have got ears for it.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, it's something, what Gary's basically saying is that the sanctum and is so important. The inner sanctum of Manchester United, it's unique. It should never be permeated. It should never be perforated by people breaking the code of talking out of turn. Or using back channels. Well, it's gone on for a very long time. I don't like it. I don't think it's right. It happened to me at Palace on the eve of arguably the biggest game of my tenure to that point, which was the playoff final against West Ham. And I was home in Spain, coming back. It's actually a couple of days after Alan Brazil and Mike Parry did an obscene evening at Crystal Palace, which was not the nicest of comments they made about my fan base and me, but we've dealt with that in with Parry and with Alan Brazil. But going back to the point,
had drink been taken?
Yeah, well,
yeah.
When is there not drink involved with those two?
Yeah.
But the bottom line was that a particular player, and I knew who it was, but I couldn't pin it down, had sold an article or done an article with a newspaper talking about the bonuses at Crystal Palace hadn't been paid, which wasn't true. And it was a double-page splash all over the Mirror on the eve of the playoff game, citing chaos at Crystal Palace with players potentially threatening not to play against West Ham
because bonuses hadn't been paid.
Because bonuses hadn't been paid.
And they had been.
Of course they had been paid. And the bonuses were paid annually, so they weren't entitled to be paid at that particular moment in time because the season hadn't finished. So it was some argument about semantics and a particular player.
You know who the player was?
I do, and I dealt with him afterwards. But at the time, it was a double-page spread, and it infuriated me. It involved me suing a newspaper and them having to pay compensation for defamation, which went off to charity. But it's that kind of culture that exists. It's the agents. I listened to Gary yesterday, and I liked a lot of what he said, because there is an element of respect and loyalty. If you don't like something, then, you sometimes in life you just have to get on with it. But the back-channeling of people's motivations, unseating managers, rumours coming out about players that want to select Pochettino rather than play for Ranieri, all of that stuff is culturally representative of a club that's not going in the right direction.
Yeah.
And it goes to the point that we were making with somebody in the upper echelons of their management about the toxicity of the dressing room.